We got Thursday night football between the Seahawks and the Cowboys, and I have two plus money banger player props for you guys to lock in. Both of these player props are of the pumped up variety, which I've had a ton of success with over this NFL season. Unfortunately, that success was not on Monday Night Football specifically, as I gave out 3 picks on this YouTube channel. We only got one of those 3 picks to cash. We end the day slightly down 0.35 units. As for the season, it's still been incredible success that we are having. Over 20 units of profit since week 7, which is when I started doing the NFL pumped up props, with an ROI of over 16%. So it's been phenomenal. Let's hope that we can get back into our profitable ways for Thursday night football. Real quick, before I get into it, would appreciate it if you're not already, if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm small, trying to grow this thing. So, and if you want to follow me along this journey, would appreciate that a lot. And then for this video, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And let's get into it. So play number 1, we're taking Dak Prescott, 300 plus passing yards, plus 178 odds at FanDuel. Dak Prescott has just been absolutely on fire recently as the Cowboys shifted their offensive philosophy to be more pass heavy. They're putting much more of a burden specifically on Dak, and he has rewarded them with just brilliant play. He's been phenomenal. The Cowboys had a stinker of a game against the 49ers. They got blown out. That is really when this offensive philosophy shift happened. The first game after the blowout of the 49ers, Dak passed for 272 yards. Since then, he has gone over 300 passing yards in 4 of 5 games. The only game in which he didn't was against the Panthers, who you don't even need to pass on in order to have success. That game was a blowout. Obviously, Deron Bland had a pick 6. That was a Tony Pollard game, a running game for the Cowboys. But even in other blowouts, Dak has still passed for 300 plus passing yards. There were 3 games in this 5-game stretch in which the Cowboys completely blew out their opponent, and Dak still went over 300 yards. That was against the Rams, against the Giants, and against the Commanders. In those 3 games, Dak had 304, 404, and 331 passing yards. Now against the Seahawks, the Cowboys offense and Dak specifically have another plus matchup in terms of throwing the ball. The Seahawks do not have a good passing defense. Looking at DVOA, they have the 23rd ranked passing defense in the NFL. That is the 10th worst. They're also ranked 22nd in terms of passing yards allowed at 230.7 per game. The guess here is that the Cowboys continue to lean on what has been working for them, which is throwing the ball a ton with Dak Prescott. I think that they are going to have a ton of success doing so. So this is something I backed Dak last week on Thanksgiving. He came through for us. Let's hope he does again today for plus 172 odds at FanDuel. Next up, obviously, we're sticking in the same game. We're going CeeDee Lamb, 100 plus receiving yards, plus 130 odds at FanDuel. Normally, for these primetime games, I try to find one pick at least for each team, but I really just don't know what to expect from the Seahawks. They've been terrible recently. They've lost 4 of 5 games, 3 of 4 games, something like that, and they really just haven't looked good. So I don't want to force something just for the sake of having 2 picks. So instead, I decided to double down on Dak and CeeDee Lamb, 2 players that I am very confident in. I used this strategy of backing both Dak and CeeDee a couple weeks ago against the Eagles. It came through swimmingly for me. I did so once again on Thanksgiving, and we cashed half. We got Dak, we didn't get CeeDee Lamb. It's been a couple quiet games in a row for CeeDee Lamb. Now, he had a 4-game stretch where he just was on fire, just absolutely blew up. But in the 2 games since, it's been quiet. Obviously, as I previously mentioned, the offense for the Cowboys is still cooking. So it's not as though the offense has been playing well. The passing yards just haven't gone to CeeDee Lamb. In that 4-game stretch where he was cooking, he had 117, 158, 191, and 151 receiving yards in those 4 games. Just absurd. In the 2 games since, he's only had 38 and 53. As I mentioned, the yards have just been going elsewhere, but that isn't something that I think is predictive for the future. The Cowboys offense is still rolling. CeeDee Lamb still had 9 targets in each of the past 2 weeks. So it's not like anything super dramatic changed with the offense. Like I said, the yards just went elsewhere. As I mentioned previously, the Seahawks have a below average passing defense. They also have a below average passing defense, specifically against opposing teams' number 1 receiver, which is obviously CeeDee Lamb. there's plenty of reasons to believe that CeeDee Lamb is going to go off in this one. In general, receivers are inconsistent in nature. That's just the type of ebbs and flows over the course of a season. A.J. Brown had 5 straight games with 125 plus passing yards. He's been quiet in the 3 games since. Is A.J. Brown suddenly bad? No, things just change. But I think that there are reasons to believe that CeeDee Lamb is going to come back out of this couple quiet game stretch that he's in. There are reasons to believe that he's going to blow up. So I like targeting him in this matchup against the Seahawks. In sneak preview, I will almost 100% be targeting him in the Cowboys' next matchup as well. But for this game, Monday Night Football, 2 plays for you guys to lock in. Obviously, there is a correlation here. If we can get one of these 2 plays to cash, we will be profitable. If we get both, not going to say we'll be rich because it's a relatively quiet slate with only 2 plays, but it would be very nice. So let's hope for that. And that's all I got. So 2 plays for you guys to lock in. If you are riding with me, make sure to comment and let me know. Other than that, remember to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate everybody for watching, and have a good one.